Okay, so today this is my review of the Guide Gear 13-foot tripod stand, and it comes in two big boxes just like this. Pay no attention probably to the fact that these boxes are going to be damaged a lot during shipment. I found that everything inside was still in pretty decent shape. Just going to cut it open here and show you kind of a step-by-step of how to put it together and what my thoughts are about it. All the parts are just tossed in the box here. These are the legs on the right, and of course the platform here on the left. And this is how it comes. Didn't notice any damage. Of course there's a bag of nuts and bolts here, and a DVD that is full of safety guide tips and so on. Follow all of their safety and warning restrictions and guidelines before using your tree stand, of course. And just giving you a close-up of some of the workmanship here. You know, they welded some nuts on here for the platform. That's the shooting rail. And I'm going to dump out all the nuts and bolts here. I highly suggest that you organize these nuts and bolts ahead of time. Everything is in metric reference. So by lining them up, you'll know which bolts are needed where. These instructions are very sparse. So partly why I made this video is to show you how I went about putting it together. Very basic schematics in here, and they reference of course the part numbers, which are on the last page, and again why I recommend that you lay out your nuts and bolts ahead of time. Make sure you have all your parts because they have the exact amount of nuts and bolts. Don't lose anything out here. So that's why I'm setting it all up here on the cardboard to make sure I have high contrast. I don't want to drop it into the grass and lose something. And notice the very top center, there's one little bolt that is different from all the others, and that's for your seat. All the others will be pretty obvious as you get going here. And remember, by lining them up it has the quantities, but I've found that even the quantity listings here are wrong. Sometimes it'll say you need 5, for example, number 21, and you only have 3 of them. And everything is 13 millimeters. So the nuts, the bolts, everything 13 millimeters. Get yourself a wrench and get ready to go here. I of course put together the stanchion top first, and that's the way it's described of course in the procedure there. Put that together, sit on the ground, keep the bolts loose for now. Your longest bolts of course go through the seat tripod on the side here. This seat rotates 360 degrees. The back bends forward and back, and of course there's a pad that comes with it, which I think is pretty lightweight. I found this is not uncomfortable to sit on even without the pad, so I'm probably not going to use it. Here's your shooting rail. This is height adjustable, so I'm showing it here on the lowest setting, and then of course there's just 4 bolts in the corners. This is not going to hold you up if you flip out of this thing. I plan to use this not for hunting. I'm actually going to put a bee box on top of it and use this to attract swarms. So I thought 13 feet would be a great height. Here we're showing it from underneath, and again the longest bolts go through these first pieces here to that top platform. Laying it on the side makes it really easy to put these things together. Of course the ladder portion comes out the front, and close up here of the struts that go side to side. And I found that even though the illustration said to put them in those top holes, I found that they only fit really in the bottom holes, and once you get those in there you can tighten everything up, because this triangle configuration here, they want you to leave things hand tight up until this point, but just go ahead and cinch them up after that. Now what I did is I just set it up so that the top leg was the one I'm assembling, and then I just flip it over again when I go to the next leg. Instead of trying to work with them on the ground, it just flips pretty easily here. And then just put the next leg in and bolt them up. Again, it's pretty obvious which bolts will go in here. The bolts were exactly long enough to do the job here. And here it is all together, absent the adjustment legs, which are at the very bottom and have a flat flange welded onto them. And as I said before, just bolt everything up nice and snug now before you set it up. I think it's pretty decent. Tube steel. The paint finish seems okay. A nice grid at the top there. not super heavy, but heavy enough. Now we've got the feet already on it. Just walk it down from the platform end and you'll be able to stand this up. I did this whole thing by myself without any assistance, so I just wanted to see if that's possible. There are telescoping adjustments at the bottom that can add a couple of feet of height to this thing. As far as the height goes, this thing is only 9 feet tall from the bottom of the legs to that foot platform there at the top. So by calling it a 13-foot tripod stand, they must be going from the feet to the top of that shooting rail up there, because it really is only 9 feet. If you extend the legs as far as they can go, you can make it 10.5 feet. So here's the adjustment leg. They adjust individually, so you can adapt to uneven ground. You could put this on a slope, for example. And they come with these nice long heavy-duty anchor spikes that you can drive in. There are holes in the foot flanges there to accommodate that. And here's the top platform again, all assembled, all finished. And again, I have the shooting rail at the lowest setting because I'm going to put a Honeybee box on top of this. And I'm just going to show you how wobbly it is. I'm 200 pounds, so I'm going to not treat it easily here. I'm just going to show you how much it flexes. There is a flip up access there on that platform that I am not going to use. I'm just going to climb over it and give it a little twist here and show you how. Now that looks really wobbly, but I'm actually pretty confident in the way it's built. You can turn it 360 degrees, drink your coffee, raise that rail, of course, if you wanted to rest your arms on it if you're a shooter. Again, I'm using this for honeybees, but now I'm going to wiggle it on my way down. I want to show you how much flex to expect. I mean, it's not going to be absolutely rigid, but I got no feeling that it was not going to hold up. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you found it helpful.